Hello and welcome to Habano News. Shocking news coming from Habanos regarding the distribution of Cuban cigars. We all knew and we all know that for the past years, especially since COVID, there's been a drop of 40 to 50% in production of cigars. And also we 2 years ago noticed the price increase of cigars and the wish for Habanos to harmonize the prices of cigars, whether you are in Asia or Europe, which in a way for me was a good idea. It's easier to put up all the prices that are low and make sure all the cigars, like a Siglo 6, you don't find a Siglo 6 at 60 or 80 or 100 or $200 in one country and then one for $60 in another country. Obviously that makes parallel market and people traveling to buy. What we were seeing recently is the drop in the volume, from 100 million to maybe 40, 50, 60 million cigars. And the price increase has helped Habanos to raise its income from 500 million to 700 million euros for 2023. So that's a 40% increase in revenues for Habanos. But also we know that they have problems with the manufacturing, with the harvest, because of there was also a storm that didn't help. That there was a lot of pressure on the amount of cigars. So even Coprova, all the distributors informed their clients, you're going to have less cigars in 2024, lack of raw material. And when we visited the tobacco fields during the Festival de Habano, we noticed that there was a lack of cigars being, or tobacco being harvested. So even planted. But the latest news is even more frightening. It all started with an article in a German-speaking online magazine called cigar.ch in German. And the article is talking about the expansion of Casa Habano in Switzerland. In fact, there were 5 Casa Habano before at the end of 2023, and 2024 there's going to be 9. There's already 3 being open: Samnown, Mendrisio with Alain and Sofia from Cigar Must, and of course the Casa Habano in Zug. And there's going to be one in the summer in Montreux by the father and son from a tobacco shop. That's going to be 9 Casa Habano in Switzerland by the end of the summer. In this article from cigar.ch, they were asking the boss of Intertabac, which is the Swiss distributor, and they were interviewing him, and he said, well, because we're opening more Casa, we were expecting to get more cigars, of course, because all the high-end products like limited edition collection books, etc., usually arrive first and in good amounts to the Casa Habano. Why? Because they cannot sell non-Cuban cigars, so they need Cuban cigars. Otherwise, they are opening a shop, and if the raw material is not coming, then they have nothing to sell. And this gentleman, Mr. Habanos, is saying that they wrote to their clients at the beginning of April to inform them that they were expecting to receive less cigars than before. So obviously people were frightened because there's a lot less cigar than before, and now there is even less cigar coming. So this newspaper was trying to get more information and say, why do you expect even less cigars to come in. And they started to do them homework, and apparently the information they got was that Habanos was going to lower the distribution of cigars to the distributors that they do not fully own. Why? Very simple. Habanos makes the big money made by Habanos is not selling the products out of Cuba, is the distributor is making the big amount of money. Of course the shops are making, but like in France, the shop is making 10%, whereas the state probably makes 20% VATs with 10% extra, so probably 30% of taxes for the government, 10% for the sailor. So the distributor is making the biggest amount of money. And if Habanos owns the distributor in full, then they get all the profits for them. If they only own 50%, which is the case with Intertabac, Pacific Cigar, same with Phoenicia, same with Fifth Avenue, then there's a big issue, because they give cigars to these guys, they don't give these cigars to other people, but these guys share the profit with them. So the decision is a bit shocking for the community, but it is a logical financially. If you can sell, it's like selling your cigar for twice the price. And obviously, we know there's been a new shareholder for Habanos. It was Imperial Tobacco, now it's Allied Cigar from China, from Hong Kong. And they want to see returns, they want to make money, which is understandable. If you can double the money you make on one product, of course you will take it, and it is what is happening. So there's another article from Cigar Connect, or L'Amateur du Cigar, one of my favorite magazines. This article is called Alert, Offensive from Habanos on the Distributors. There will be less cigars in Switzerland, Asia, and the Middle East. The distributors that do not fully belong to Habanos are expecting a drop between 30 to 50% of the number of cigars they receive compared to last year, 24 compared to 23. Coproba, the French distributor, is not concerned, is not impacted, because it fully belongs to Habanos. But they're talking about Switzerland, they're talking about Pacific Cigar, they're talking about Hunters and Frankau, and they are also talking about Fifth Avenue in Germany. So it seems to, there's no communication from Habanos on the subject yet to the press, but it's a big shock for a lot of people, because a lot of people would go to Switzerland to buy their cigars, or Lebanon, the big place for cigars in the Middle East. And now it seems that France, Benelux and Spain are going to keep the amount of cigars, but not the rest of the region. So I thought it was very, very interesting to let you know what is happening. There's no communication from Habanos. Apparently there are still some talks going, but L'Amateur du Cigar, which is a very good magazine, and as you know, the editor-in-chief got the Hombre Habano title this year. They got some information where saying that the situation is very serious and it's going to happen. So We can trust them on the subject. So this is bad news for Switzerland, bad news for Pacific Cigar, bad news for Phoenicia. And we don't know, of course, where the cigars are going. People are starting to talk about it. We can just try to guess. So I hope you like this video. If you liked it, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.